Hello, everybody. Very good afternoon to you. It's a brand new week and the 25th day of August 2025. Once again, we are here to go through the markets and to see opportunities as many as we can gather. Congratulations, everybody, for continuing your journey on this wealth creation experience. And it's my pleasure to be with you this morning and hopefully, or this afternoon, depending on where you are in the world connecting from. And hopefully, we continue to make inroads and grow our portfolios. Thank you very much for all your efforts. And I want to continue to encourage you to keep going harder and making it work for you. For those who earn weekly, today is payday for you wherever you are. Congratulations, and hopefully you make provision for some of your portfolio investments. And then for those who earn monthly, hopefully by the end of this week, following next week, you should also be getting your pay to judiciously deploy towards increasing your net worth. It's a very simple and straightforward journey, staying focused, being consistent, and hopefully it continues to get better. Very good afternoon once again, good morning, depending on where you are, and good evening. I will go on straight to introduce our moderators in the house. Maobi, ever present as usual. And then, of course, we will have Luke on Instagram, Rehoboth, that's Gratitude Boss, also on TikTok, Oremos on TikTok. As we proceed, they will be helping to respond to some of your questions. You know how we do it. Keep liking this live stream, keep sharing it as often as you will, and hopefully you get more people attracted to get to be part of what we are doing here. Over the weekend, I posted a video of one of our members who told us all the way from Birmingham, and that video has been generating a lot of interest all across the globe. So we're making progress. That's what it means. And when we hear these fantastic testimonials from you yourself directly, we are encouraged to know that indeed we are impacting our world. Once again, we proceed on the very first day of the week to see what happens. But before we go on in this live stream, as usual, I will go on to do the weekly wrap, reviewing what happened in the last week, the stock exchange, especially in Nigeria, and then we proceed to take in your comments. Remember, by 1 p.m. Nigerian time, that's 1 hour into this live stream, we will proceed to take your calls on TikTok. Stay informed and invest wisely. That's the point. Let me also quickly let us know that the views and opinions expressed in this live stream are basically mine and they are personal, not investment advice. So you are advised to do your due diligence despite my sharing my opinion about stocks and every other investment options available. All right. Now, let me also remind us the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So you will do well not to come in with that gambler's mentality or get-rich-quick mentality, because you will be disappointed. But you know what? As much as we understand the market is not a get-rich-quick scheme, sometimes we see that the market really, really rewards us faster than we even imagined. And I will take a pleasant surprise for a disappointment of losing because I thought that I was going to get rich quick. All right. So have the right mentality, stay focused, know you are building for the long term, and every other thing will fall in place. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So on to the weekly wrap up. The Nigerian equities market wrapped up the week ended August 22nd in red as the all-share index dropped 3,624 points to close at 141,004.14 basis points. Majorly, the cement industry dragged down the index because, you know, they are the biggest players, and when they cough, when they sneeze, the entire market shakes. So Dangote Cement and Bua Cement were the biggest draggers of the all-share index. Trading volume fell sharply as well. 4.1 billion shares exchanged, down from the 8.4 billion the previous week. Okay, market capitalization also mirrored the downturn, sliding from 91.5 trillion to 89.2 trillion naira. Only 43 equities recorded price gains, fewer than the 50 that advanced in the prior week. Meanwhile, 54 equities declined, higher than the 49 losers previously, while 49 equities closed flat. Market review overview. All share index opened at 144,628, ending Monday slightly in green. The mood shifted from Tuesday on the index as the index slipped to 142,613 points, extending its losses through Wednesday and Thursday when it nearly broke below the 140,000 threshold. A mild rebound came on Friday, with the market staging a 671-point recovery, though not enough to offset earlier losses, leaving the index at the reported 141,004 points for the week. NGX premium index shared 4.31%, dragged down by 9.88% drop in Dangote Cement, alongside declines of under 5% in Access Bank, Zenith Bank, First Holdco, MTN Nigeria, and Lafarge Africa, which is WAPCO. So based on sectoral performances, we saw that industrial goods index declined 8.42%, dragged down by Dangote Cement, Boa Cement, and WAPCO. And then mid-cap stocks like QTix also shared over 10%. The insurance index weakened by 4.17%. If you noticed, after that major drop by the insurance stocks, there was some bit of recovery up till Friday. And this morning, we are seeing that insurance stocks are still trying to gain some more momentum from the pullback we saw. So if you have insurance stocks and perhaps you entered too late in any of them, you want to stay patient and watch how high it goes. Okay? NGX banking index lost 3.48% on declines across the FUGAS banks. For those who are just joining and who may not know, FUGAS is the acronym for First Bank, United Bank for Africa, GTCO, Access Bank, and Zenith. Top 5 Nigerian commercial banks listed on the stock exchange, while the oil and gas index slipped 0.84%. The only gainer was the consumer goods index, which edged up 0.83%. Okay, so that will be that for, excuse me, for the weekly wrap up. We'll go on to your comments now, and by 1 p.m. Nigerian time, we proceed with your calls on TikTok. Ikembe Zoic says, good morning, coach. MTN is still going down. Do I buy more or wait or sell? I saw MTN just before coming on live, and I feel that it's at a good price to start taking position gradually. MTN, start taking position gradually. All right? It's a good position now to, as long as it's around that 410, 413 price, it's fine. Coach, please say about MTN, hold or sell. Stephanie, member, I want to believe that MTN is a long-term play and it's only trying to recover from the strong pullback after a solid run up to about 490 naira. So I want to see a situation where MTN finds a way to stabilize just above 400 before the next upward movement. But let's not forget, MTN could be coming into the market to offer some shares. All right. So that's the situation. Good afternoon, Coach. Please, do you recommend I offload Transcorp PLC for Aradel, Dolzy Unlimited? That's actually a very good move, if you ask me, because for whatever reason, Transcorp hasn't moved yet. It could just move maybe seriously in the coming months. That's because of the change in fortunes in terms of its per share metrics that has improved dramatically. But until that translates to a reasonable per share dividend payout, then it will not have anything to do with the stock price moving from where it has always stagnated. So, but guess what? Even if a stock like Aradel hasn't moved yet, there is much more potential to move. There's much more assurance of the profits that will keep coming. Of course, we're looking at growth on all aspects, revenue growth, income growth, and then, of course, profit growth. And all of those, including profit margins, are looking good for Aradel. And the icing on the cake is that you are sure you're going to get the interim dividend that should be announced when the third quarter result is made known around October. So, fantastic move as long as you make up your mind not to regret selling any time afterwards if you find Transcorp moving. Thoughts on Wando, Livestock, and Qtix? What do you think their near future looks like? Wando, Livestock, and Qtix. The one with the best near-term future that is much more clear is Qtix. Fantastic near-term future. And then for Wando, it's more like a topsy-turvy, as we have always witnessed in the past few years. One good news could pop it up, but I have my eyes on Owando should it drop to between 43 naira and 46. That will be, barring any unforeseen circumstances, a good enterprise. But you know what? It's trying to stay above around 49 for a while. I know it traded up to 48 last week, but currently there seems to be slightly higher bids than offers. 2.6 million bids. Oh, that's not slightly, that's a lot. 2.6 million bids versus 1.2 million offers. So that's the situation with Owando. It's almost like at a range where it could hardly fall further below. Yes. So as long as it's under 50 and you have patience on your side, then you should be able to make some good progress with your Owando, right? Okay. And then for livestock, the results were not fantastic, but sometimes you want to wait to see what the third and fourth quarter results are like before any foray into that stock. Though it had a fantastic move in the course of the year, moving from around under 4 naira to about 10 naira or so before dropping to 8 as we have it now. So in the long term, I think they should turn around that result that didn't look very impressive in the first 2 quarters of 2025. Right. Thank you, Coach, for the answer. Please, what's the qualification date for Fidelity and UBA? Qualification date in terms of dividend, if that's what you mean, then it hasn't been announced yet. So if you buy between now and September, you should still be able to qualify because it's usually paid in October. Coach, please, can I accumulate NACO and TIP now? Abipel, I can assure you that you can because it's not looking like NACO wants to drop below 100 naira. It's really not looking so. Should it ever drop below 100 naira, that's a fantastic entry. I said it a few weeks ago that NACO is now in the best 2 quarters of the year, of every year. You know, historically, that's when the highest kind of travels takes place, and that's when airports are busiest. For instance, during the summer, as we are in now, all sorts of flight activities going on. Excuse me. That's how NACO makes and generates a lot of money for themselves. And then the last quarter, which has the festive period, December, Christmas, all of those movements, again, also makes it a busy period for airport operations. And as long as that continues, then we look forward to seeing something much more fantastic than what we have seen in the first and second quarter. By the way, the numbers published in the first and second quarters of 2025 still look fantastic. And anytime soon, NACO will pick up, especially after they announce the third quarter results. So we wait to see what happens from here. At 103 currently, I don't see it dropping too much. If it drops below 100, it won't drop below 90. So we are looking at between 95 and 100. So if you are seeing it at 103, maybe, just maybe, it might refuse to ever drop below 100. Then you can take some position now. Otherwise, we don't know what happens after the second quarter, third quarter result is announced. Even though we feel that November, December are times when stock prices drop, You never know how high it rises when the third quarter result is released before that November, December. So if it rises very high, then it may not get back to this price at around December or November. I hope you get the point now. Abby Pell says, Coach, please, is this a good time to buy Royal Caribbean cruise that you mentioned earlier? Okay, that's in the international market. And my attention was drawn to it also just during the weekend. I think I and my wife were doing something on the system, and then I just saw it. Royal Caribbean. I remember mentioning it. I've forgotten how much it was when I mentioned it, but it should have gone higher than it was. So just give me a little bit of time and let me check. Royal Caribbean, a lot of cruise activities going on, so much more revenue for them this season. Just about 5 days ago, it was selling at 300 and was selling at $316 per share 5 days ago. It's currently 344. So it's looking like you're coming a bit late, but it's never late. It's never too late for a stock like this that is still a previous dips that it has suffered into. The entire cruise sector has really suffered some dips coming from a year or two ago. So they're on the rise currently, and that's why the 1 year increase has been 116. So prior to a year ago, they've just been struggling. $116 per share then, 1 year ago, currently now $344 per share. So not too bad a time to get in, but it's now at something higher than it ever costed a year ago. But still, there could be some chance to make more money there. Boa cement price to buy, sir. BAMS. Boa cement, let me take a look so that I can be able to be precise. If you want to buy Boa cement now, these are times when it has pulled back and looking again attractive. 137.5. I think you can buy at 137.5 in spite of the fact that you are seeing it at 151 naira on your app. Please, what price should we enter NACO and NIDF, sir? That's coming from She Lawyer. NIDF and NACO. For NACO, I've said 103 or less. At the moment, it may not drop below 100, so 103 not too bad. But should it ever drop below 100 for any reason, then you go ahead and scoop some more. I think that's the safest and best strategy to follow this up before any eventuality of it running away from your site, because NACO still has enough leg room, I can tell you, or enough gas to run. Okay, let's go on to NIDF. As usual, if it's not 113, it should be 111, depending on the bid and offer status. Let's see, currently 113, the same price it closed on Friday. There are strong offers at 112, 56,000 offers at 112, and 40,000 offers also at 112. Oh my goodness, 208,000 offers at 112. So basically, the easiest price to buy today is 113, because I don't see them easily clearing out those 200 and something thousand shares at 112 before you buy at 112 or 111. So just lay down the 1 naira extra and take your stock at 113. All right, Coach, Boa Cement and WAPCO, which one is better to at current price? Okay, I've just seen Boa Cement at 137, even though the closing price was 150 something, and then WAPCO at 132. Between the both, in the near term, I would rather go for WAPCO, 132. The only problem you will have with WAPCO is the situation with the majority stake that is being is about to be bought by a Chinese company, and so there's some level of uncertainty as to what becomes of minorities. Will they sell and delist or not? Rumors have it that they may not delist WAPCO, and they will just let the retail investors, maintain their shareholding and leave it listed on the stock exchange. But all of these are just rumors. The real valuation of WAPCO is far below, above this current price. That's my take between WAPCO and BUA. For BUA, greater opportunities for expansion that has not yet been reflected or registered on the papers. So perhaps the stock price is a bit delayed in realizing its full potentials. Remember, there's a plan to be commissioned, and then there are expansion works going on, which will eventually reflect in their books. So that is why I said in the immediate term, So that's the case with both of them. Oligbi Ogabiela. Coach, what platform do you swing trade for US stocks? Okay. If you are abroad, trading 212. I use trading 212. I also use Trade Zero. Then I use in Nigeria, amongst the apps, I use currently Optimus by AfriInvest. Basically, when I started trading foreign stocks like 7 years ago, I used the first app I used was Trove. Now, Trove went on and on and on until the likes of Chaka came out, the likes of Bamboo came on board, and so on. Along the line, I used Chaka as well, but Chaka is in a mess. You can't, a whole lot is going wrong there. I don't know what's happening. Even someone asked me about Chaka, and I told them because he was having a problem, and I told him I didn't know what the situation, the problem is. So those kind of issues are actually going on with an app like Chaka. Then for Trove, some people, it's a mixed feeling and reaction. Some people are good. Some have complaints about the use of Trove and all that. So these are platforms that you can explore depending on your location, right? Okay, Coach, what do you think about Deep Cap, Japol, ABC, CNI leasing? I want to sell Deep Cap for Danksmet. That's also a smart move. Inner Shift Studio. You can go ahead and do that because you are moving from something that is not very stable and not too sound to something very solid. I'm talking about your move from Deep Cap, your planned move from Deep Cap to Dangote Cement. I would okay that anytime, any day. Japol Gold needs a lot of time. There's a whole lot of early starter activities going on, and so may not reflect in the bottom line early enough. And then there's also the risk of the management not getting it right. If they miss it, it becomes difficult because they are veering into solid minerals mining, and all of those things requires a lot of resources and time before it can start reflecting in uh, um, their financials. Okay, sir, I bought Royalex and then ABC Transport. Is that ABC Transport? ABC Transport has other businesses lined up that they are diversifying into, but I do not know really what's involved. It's risen well enough for the market to continue to patronize it um, without serious details in terms of what's happening and what the financials are. So I would not advise you go in to ABC at the current 5 naira per share price. Rather wait for a pullback if you are really interested in that project that they are involved in. And then for CNI leasing, I saw that it was trying to dip below 7 today. Let me see how much it is now. 6 naira 82 kobo. Now at anything under 7 is a good entry price for CNI leasing. A whole lot of these companies needs to come out and inform the public properly about what they are up to. That way, it helps the market also value the stocks correctly. Okay. Ade says, sir, how much can we bid Presco? Presco, after paying the dividend, of course, has to be resting from when they did the markdown. So at the moment, even though it closed at 1,480, Presco, the last transaction on Presco was 1,350 naira per share. And we have bids of 1,341 naira 50 kobo per share, and so on. It's still looking like Presco is under a sell pressure because there's 1.2 million shares being offered versus just 48,000 bids on the table. So you want to take your time and bid at 1,340 naira per share. I know the last transaction was at 1,350. I'm also aware the closing price on Friday was 1,480, but I believe you can cut a bargain at 1,340 if your bid quantity is attractive enough. Sir, I bought Royal X at 2 naira 40 kobo and it's not coming down. Should I buy Aiko instead? Well, Dikelechi sounds like he wants the stock he bought to come down. You see, different folks for different, you know, what do you call it now? Different strokes for different folks, right? He bought at 240. It's refusing to come down for him to buy more. So he wants to switch gear. But I would say ICO has really gone high and is in more danger to drop. Now let's see what, because ICO is coming from 1 naira 70 kobo per share. It's currently 4 something. Should any eventuality happen in the market, more ICO sellers will be far more willing to sell down to up to 2 naira per share because they bought at 170 or 3 naira per share. But for Royal Exchange, I'm looking at where they are right now. Just 2 naira 44. You bought 240. Why not go ahead and stack up more Royal Exchange? Currently 10.9 million bids, 5.4 million offers. So the bids are even higher than the offer. So there are likely chances that you can buy at 2 naira 41 or 242 and then still see it rise higher than your initial entry price. So I think the best move to make here is not to go in for ICO, but to still stack up more Royal Exchange. All right? Because Royal Exchange, now let me do this quick comparison. Royal Exchange has its 52 weeks high at 347 kobo. And I'm sure it's from that pullback after I got to 347 that we're seeing it at 244. Remember, on Friday it closed at 225. So it's recovering from that heavy pullback. So it's still further from the 52 weeks high if you check the percentage difference. Now, if you go on to ICO, how much is the 52 weeks high when all the insurance stocks rallied? 511. How much is it now? 420. Also rebounding from that heavy pullback when it got to 5. So if you calculate the percentage difference between the upside gains from 420 to 511, that is assuming it's not automatic, assuming ICO gets back to hit that 52 weeks high, the percentage gain is far less compared to what it would take for Royal X. So Royal X is farther from the 52 weeks high than ICO is, and therefore it means they stand a chance for better capital gains. I hope that's clear. Ali says, Coach, I got NEO at 4. With the present price, can I get more for a 5 to 6 months term? By the way, congratulations everyone who got NEO. We called NEO here at 4. NEO is doing over 5, if not 6. 634. NEO is at 634. And pre-market is showing that NEO is at 666. So the attraction for NEO continues, and so it means there's a chance for more money to be made. But I also think that NEO could pull back anytime soon. In the last 1 month, it's done 22%, but in the last 5 days, 39%, right? Just 5 days ago, NEO was selling at $4.88. And now we're looking at $6.34, 39%, almost 40%. For me, the best approach would be to take profit, wait for a pullback, jump back in, even if it doesn't pull back down to 4. But for you who is looking at a long term, that's for those who want to, swing trade, short term, jump in, jump out. That's what we call GJO, right? So, but for you who is still looking at a longer term, the fact that there's a chance for it to pull back means you should just hold on a bit and wait for that pullback. And what range is it likely to pull back to? If you ask me, I would say the ranges of 550 from the 663 it is or so. It could also pull back down to 5 or 499 in the immediate term before accelerating further, because profit takers will still take profit. So the ball is in your court to stack up more, and after buying, watch the pullback, still stay comfortable and let it fly. Or wait for the pullback, buy at 5 or 550, and then relax. All right? Okay. The comments are not scrolling themselves, so I'm sure some comments are stuck. What about AfriInvest app, coach? Sulam Official. AfriInvest app, I do not use it. That's the AfriInvestor 2.0. Maybe you want to ask members of Network Investors Club who have experience using that app so they can give you updates. Yeah. Which of the insurance companies can you advise as a buy? And Jais Bank, is it a buy? Yeah, if I had some free funds now in the market and I wanted to buy some insurance stocks, ladies and gentlemen, NEM Insurance. Let's go there. I've watched it pull back gradually. I don't know what happened. I forgot to mention it last week that at 26, NEM should have hit the bottom. After the rise to 39, it started dipping and pulling back until last week it dropped to 26.60, closing at 26.60. From that point, I don't know if it ever traded below the 26. I guess so. But guess what? 28 naira 85 kobo as we speak. Best insurance stock right now for me, following the rise and pullbacks in the market. Then I would also mention Mansard, though that has not pulled back too much from its, it has also 21. It got to 21 before pulling back to 16, right? So that's my take. Coach, is foreign good for long term or short term? Please, your advice. Chomilicious, foreign stocks comes in various categories, and you want to be sure which of them you are dealing with so you can know how to handle them. Some are day trades. That's very dangerous, so I don't easily talk about it in the open, because you need to be on ground. Market has opened, and the live session is not during market and during live stream session. The live stream is not on when the US market opens. But the two best ways to play the foreign market is swing trading and long-term investing. So there are some stocks you buy just because you want to swing trade. There are some you buy just because you want to stay in for the long term. That's the way to go with the foreign stock. So at every time you get a recommendation, you want to ask exactly where, what category that each one falls into. Coach, always looking good. You said this week you will be putting on t-shirts. Yes, I did, but I haven't found the courage to do that yet. Maybe, just maybe, let's watch and see how it goes. Okay, Coach, please, between Sterling Bank and FCMB, which is better for capital gain and dividend income? That's a tough call. ordinarily FCMB should. And that reminds me of the news that FCMB will be going into the market anytime soon to raise fresh funds. Let me quickly inform us. For that reason, Sterling Bank may give you better chances of capital gains in the short term, but FCMB is actually the stronger bank amongst the two. All right, I kid you not. FCMB is a bigger bank than Sterling. By the way, FCMB has announced plans to raise fresh equity capital through an offer for subscription following shareholder approval at the extraordinary general meeting held December 19th. In a statement to the NGX, the company said it's part of its strategy to strengthen its capital base in anticipation of both regional and international expansion. Proceeds from the equity raise will be injected as additional capital into its flagship subsidiary, First City Monument Bank Limited. All right, so remember, December 30th, they announced successful completion of landmark public offer, raising 147 billion with 33% over subscription. So expect another offer by the bank later on. And that means more dilution for existing shares. One of the biggest problems FCMB has is excessive shares outstanding. Let me do a little bit of comparison amongst its peers, and so that you can see what I'm talking about. FCMB, now we're talking about FCMB and Sterling. So just give me a moment. It's all for our benefit, because in the end, number of shares plays a major role in how well a bank stocks or any other companies perform in terms of their per share metrics. So I want to look at FCMB, Sterling, and let's say WEMA, right? Just taking a look at their shares outstanding. Shares outstanding for FCMB currently 39.6 billion shares. Sterling, shares outstanding 52 billion shares. Now that's a lot. Now that means I didn't take cognizance of the offers that Sterling has done and added to what they have. And then you have WEMA, just 21 billion shares. And this is why, if you take a closer look, you will find that the earnings per share of WEMA is much higher. 8 naira per share, earnings per share. Earnings per share of Sterling, 1 naira per share. Earnings per share of FCMB, 2 naira per share. So you can see that Sterling has too many shares outstanding. Of course, basically FCMB is quite bigger than it. And I do not know, at the current price of Sterling, there could still be price movements. It really doesn't matter. Technically speaking, if you observe them in terms of technicals, Sterling could still, but you need a good entry price as well. So entering Sterling around 7 and under should be the best if you want to get the best. But at the moment, it's at 7 naira 85 per share. Otherwise, FCMB is a stronger bank. And the fact that they have less shares outstanding, it means they will continue to do better than Sterling, barring any unforeseen circumstances. And this is outside whatever extra shares they are going to add up based on the new offer they are about to raise. What are your thoughts on Fidelity Bank as a strong buy? Tony, Fidelity Bank continue to be a strong buy. Now let me add Fidelity to this exercise I was just embarking on, so we can also see, because perhaps you want to categorize them amongst them, but Fidelity has actually left that range. You know, Fidelity used to be in the same range with FCMB before it performed far better and had to exit, give it a gap. So they are no longer playmates, right? So Fidelity Bank, if we take a look, they have 50 billion shares, but earnings per share is 7.29, right? And that is really, really surprising. I will take a look at their quarterly results to know, because it's now very clear that at the moment Wema has a higher earnings per share, right? But that's trailing 12 months, adjusted. It's not really exact. So the best thing to do is not even to look at their 2024 annual reports, is to look at the latest half-year results to compare, which is not available to me. But you can see that you can see why Wema and Fidelity are not in the same range with FCMB and Sterling, right? Okay, that's by the way. So Fidelity always welcome, because they even pay more dividend than Wema. Absolutely, yeah. Fidelity pays far more dividend, and their dividend yield is higher. Dividend yield for Fidelity is 11.96%, which is fantastic in the banking sector. Dividend yield for Wema, based on current price now, is 4%. And then dividend yield for Sterling, 2% or 2.3%. Dividend yield for FCMB is 5%. So you can see that along the line, the market really takes time to price these stocks according to their performance, and you don't want to do anything contrary, so that you don't see wrong results while expecting something better, right? Okay, keep the comments coming in. Coach, is Sophie a good buy in the U.S. stock market? It came benzoic. Actually, I also checked out Sophie this morning. Sophie will need to dip, from what I found out, if you want to get in at a good price. It's one thing to identify a good stock, it's another thing to know at what price is safer to get in. In the last 1 month, it's done 17%, but I would like to see it dip to 21 or 20. Then worst case dip is, yes, 21. If I find Sophie at 21, that's great. Currently it's at 25. So just go somewhere and bookmark it and watch out for Sophie at 21. It comes down to 21, then you can buy. For swing trade, and even for the fact that it has good fundamentals to start with, right? Okay. Like Neo and Lassa stock you mentioned, I bought some. Should I hold them for long term or take profit? Chomilicious is not playing. She's gone international and is up and doing. For Neo, I've said now that it's at 660 something, for everybody who bought at 4, you can take profit. You're over 40% up. So you can take profit, wait for a dip to around 5 or 550. Well, I think there will be a dip before it continues its upward movement. For Lisa, that stock jumped very fast after I mentioned it on my Instagram page, right? That's Liz. Let me see how much it is currently. Liz is, you can't believe it. It made 101% jump in 5 days. Goodness gracious, there's money in the US market. Can you see that? Myself, those are not long term. Lisa is not really long term, all right? But it could become a solid long term play. You can see it's pulling back. As at Friday, it gained 23% and closed at $5.07. But in pre-market, it's pulled back down to $4.91, right? But to record a whopping 101% in 5 days, it should tell you it's going to be pulling back more. So take profit on Laser as quickly as possible. Wait for it to dip further before you can buy again, if you really want to get back in there. For New, about the same thing also, but it is more critical for Laser, right? Dear coach, any insights on Okomo? I have always believed that pullbacks under 1,000 for Okomo is a good long-term entry. Let's see how much it is. As at Friday, it's still closed at 1,020, but it's on full offer. No bid existing in the market. Currently 918. This is how it will keep doing, even if it's on full offer, until a time will come when it will eventually become available again on full, before bids will start coming up again. So I think taking position now, unless a block 100,000 transaction is done before market closes at 918, then you will find it dropping at that price. Otherwise, it will still close at 1,020 repeatedly. So I think 918 is a good entry price, which is available right now in quantum quantities. 806,000 offers, zero bid. But a total of 138,000 shares have been traded at 127. I like us to learn. I had a chat with someone who sent me a DM encouraging me to continue to advise as I've always done, because he sometimes follows our discussions, and he said he noticed I always encourage people to stay in the market long term and build wealth. Then he went on to share with me that he's saying that because he himself bought Presco at 18 naira 80 kobo or so, or 18 naira 30 kobo, something of that nature. 18 naira per share. He specifically stated it clearly. He bought 20,000 Presco. Now let's go on to do the math. 20,000 Presco, I would want to add, I want to add commissions and all that, and say, okay, at 19 instead of the 18, whatever the fraction he bought. 20,000 Presco at 19 naira, assuming, is 380,000 naira. I think he said he bought it in 20. I've forgotten now if it's 2015 or something. For the date, I've completely forgotten, but that really doesn't matter. What matters is he spent 380,000 to buy Presco at 18 naira plus. Today, 20,000 Presco at 1,450 is how much? We are talking about 30 million. If it's 1,500, 30 million naira. What someone spent 380,000 to buy some years ago is now worth 30 million naira. That's not all. Now here is the catch. He bought that stock 18 naira, right? Presco recently paid how much? 42 naira per share. 42 naira times the 20,000 shares, he received 840,000 naira. That's how many times the money invested. 380,000 invested. Now, final dividend for 2024 that was just paid last week, 840,000. They've declared another 20 naira dividend interim. They will soon be paying something he bought 18 naira. Are you getting the point now? You can't be complaining about dividend yield if you are in his shoes. Do you get the point? So what that means is 42 naira versus the 18 naira he spent. If you check the dividend yield, what do you have? Oh my God, 133% dividend yield. This is where dividend investing destroys every other thing. So somebody will come and say, oh, out of 1,500 naira per share that I bought this stock, they are now paying 42 naira. How much is that? You are late to the party and you don't know. So you need to know, you need to be informed that some of us here bought November at even 450 naira per share. A whole lot of us bought 450 naira in November. 9 months after, we are talking about 1,500. Over 1,000 naira per share gained before you talk of what the dividend yield is on 442 naira per share dividend, plus the 20 declared, so 62 naira per share for 2025. At least you receive that for 2025, but the 20 naira declared is interim dividend for the 2025 financial year, which will end in December. Then they will now announce final dividend and pay it in May next year. Do you get the point? So when you come into the market, sit down and take your time and invest. Just know that you are building. You are not in a kalu business, right? You are building for the future. See what has happened to 18 naira per share stock, 1,550. So amongst those we are looking at now, 5 years from now, this thing will repeat itself. That's what I'm saying. NACO has not finished growing, but 5 years ago it was 2 naira per share. Now it's 103 naira per share. I can tell you it will hit 150, 180 in a couple of months for something that was 2 naira 5 years ago. So NACO paid 5 naira 90 kobo dividend this year. For something you bought 2 naira, they pay 5 naira. That's how many percent of the 2 naira is that? Almost 300%. That's what you now start getting every year as dividend. Will you sell that kind of stock because stock price has increased? Maybe, depending on the volume you have. But you see, capital gains, fantastic. Dividend yield, fantastic. That's why when you buy cheap stocks like TIP, you better hold it. You don't know what that stock will pay later. Stocks like QTIX, you are buying at 3 naira and so on. You better hold it. Because when they start paying 3 naira per share dividend, that means you are receiving 100% dividend yield every year. So every year, the initial capital you spent buying that stock is given to you back free. And the stock is still there, the value is still increasing. Because if TIP now grows to start paying, QTIX or TIP now grows to start paying 1 naira, 2 naira, 3 naira dividend, of course, the stock price will not be where it is, as it is now. That's why we invest. All right, it's not rocket science. A lot has to do with our patience level. When we are building a house, we don't expect that the house will pop up in 2 days, in 1 month, in 3 months. So if you know you are building something solid in the stock market, then relax and give it the time it deserves. Because if it will last, then it needs time. Right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 7 minutes more before we go onto the phone lines on TikTok. Keep your comments coming in. What are your thoughts on MTN? I've shared my thoughts earlier on MTN. Thank you very much. Maobi has already attended to that. Boss, where can I invest 500,000 that will be withdrawn in February? Senate. Okay. February is a very good time to sell a stock. What stock should we go for? Well. I am looking at Zenith Bank. Oh, it jumped back to 71. I never knew. Zenith Bank, I said buy Zenith Bank 78, right? 68. Up till this morning, I think it sold at 67. Oh my goodness. I wish this question came in early. But under 70, Zenith Bank is okay. Somebody bought Zenith at 67 this morning. It's now 71. Excuse me. Okay. Then, of course, UACN. UACN at the 70, 73, 75 range is fantastic. Currently 76, that's also okay. UACN 76, that's also okay. Yes, it could be possible to even buy UACN at 75 or 74 today. Depends. Then you just leave it. Right? Coach, please talk about Uni-Insure. Well, just like every other insurance company, Uni-Insure is also jumping after the strong pullback experienced before. It seems to be a pretty good penny insurance stock. time just needs to further shed more light on what else to expect. Coach, what's the best entry price for RDL and USCN today? Okay, I've mentioned that for USCN. Let's go for RDL. It's selling at 508 now. So I think 508, 506, if it ever drops that low. Yeah. 5 minutes before the phone lines comes up, if you are not following me, you are losing money. So keep your eyes on the ball as we keep going. Coach, please, could you explain swing trade? Clean has come up with another subject that could be termed the knowledge session for today. So swing trading is a method of buying stocks in the stock market with a view to selling between a day after and 3 to 6 months after for profit. In other words, it's not day trading, because it is different from day trading in the sense that you buy today, sell today. That's day trading. Anything after today, there is a lot of chances the price will keep dipping and dropping further. It's also not long-term trading, because you look for fundamentals to determine what stock to buy and stay the long term. And I've said before that long term is relative. To some people, long term is more than a year. Others, 3 to 5 years and above, right? Short term for others is between 6 months to 1 year, and so on. Now, so swing trade is you technically deciding it's good to enter a stock at a particular price based on its behavior, and you take position in a bid to sell higher 1 day after you buy, 5 days after you buy, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month after you buy, 2 months after you buy. All you are waiting for is a comfortable upside gain before you sell. So you give yourself a target of 30%, 40%, and then you go ahead to sell when you feel like selling. So some people are happy with 30% profit. It doesn't matter if it happens in 48 hours. You sell and move on. Some people are happy with 50% profit. Really doesn't matter if it takes 1 month. Once they hit that target, they move. That's what swing trade is. All right. Thank you very much. Keep your comments coming in and so on. I think perhaps you were typing when I was talking about the profit taking. Or the network delayed it, but that's it. Everybody set your profit targets and decide to move. The reason why I don't tell you when to sell and so on is because I have no idea what price you bought. Your entry prices are always different, right? So you decide. But what I have learned is you can see a stock price, even some long-term stocks, you can see a stock price jumping 40%, and you refuse to take, hoping all is well. All is really well, but what is not well is those traders who want to take profit very fast. So when it rises, gets to 40, then the higher it climbs from there, the more the tendency that it will drop. And when it drops, it can wipe away the whole 40 you had gathered. That's my experience with the US market that I'm sharing. So you don't wait for 100%. If you see 100% overnight, wonderful. But should you see 40 and above, because anything can also happen outside general market sentiments, what about government policies and so on, right? So That's it. Donald Trump can come up and say he's doing one tariff or the other, and everything crashes in that sector, affecting that stock. You have seen rise give you 60%, and then everything comes back down and throws you into a loss. That's why a lot of people are confused with the foreign markets. So when market now eventually crashes hard, then you now buy those stocks you know you can't buy again, and it will hardly ever come back down. For instance, when Nvidia dropped to about $98 per share, $94 per share, we cried that people just go and buy. When others are scared, this is the time to buy this, because no matter how Nvidia dips, we may never see it at that price anymore. So for stocks like Nvidia, which that will always dip and rise, you have bought at a fantastic price that it may never dip to. At that point, you leave it for the long term and just watch it rise to 500 from wherever you bought at 90 something or 120, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to inform you that we are now at the time when the phone lines will be open. So I won't be the only one talking right now. On TikTok, you line up, you follow the queue. Please, as always, make sure that you stick to the rules and, of course, keep your environment quiet. But before I go on, I'm seeing a comment from Kaka. She says, Coach, that's ACM last week. Saw it at 58%, and before Jack, it's dropped to 20%, but it's going back up. You see? So Kaka has experienced it, but you know what? ACMR, I'm sure that's the stock you are referring to. So she could have sold at 58%, taken that profit, then got back in after that crash. But she's seen the 58% melt into just 20%, and it's now recovering. And that reminds me, ACMR is another stock. You know, I mentioned ACMR at $19 per share. How many people bought ACMR then and are still holding? And I remember mentioning it's for the long term, but along the line, it will keep facing one or two challenges here and there. I mentioned at 19. For anybody who bought at 19, it's now 30, right? But it's recovering again, and the recovery is massive, because as at Friday it gained 19%. Now I'm seeing at pre-market it's at 6%. So it closed $30.53 on Friday, moving from 29.70 that Friday. Now it's at 32.39 in pre-market. But you know what? 15 days ago was when it jumped the highest. On the 21st of this month, it rose to 20 to 30, above 30 to 31, all the way from 25. Okay? And it strolled along that 25 for so long. So it will just keep climbing. Can I tell you, year-to-date gain is already 100%, even at this current price. Year-to-date, that's from January till date, ACMR has gained 100%. So that prediction I did, that recommendation I did, is perfectly intact up till now. Yes? If you bought at 19, just stay there. This one is for the long term. Fundamentals all solid, right? So even if you missed it before, well, you are late, but you can start buying at 30. Unfortunately, pre-market is showing 32 already. Okay? All right. So the phone lines, here we go. We have Basel, HVAC Tech, and Niger Celebrities. We'll take Basel first, keep your environment quiet, and then Niger Celebrity will follow. By the way, Atlas Portfolio is also in the house, just in case you have one or two things to mention, then go ahead. Adele says she bought at 22, ACMR, she bought at 22. Interesting. She's gained $10 per share right now, because at pre-market it's already $32 per share. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, coach. Good afternoon, coach. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Please tell us your name and where
Good
you're
afternoon.
streaming from.
Yeah, my name is Joseph Bassi. I'm streaming from Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Joseph from Lagos. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm new into the stock market. I started around June, and I've invested quite an amount, and I I would say I made some money, but at the same time I lost the money. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, apart from just investing, I aim to be a long term investor. Yeah. So apart from just investing, I needed to learn how the market works. So ever since I've been following your page and I've been trying to like learn because you know the saying where your money is, that's where your heart will be. You get so I've been trying to like learn the matrix of how it works. Although this is not what I do. So in my head, I'm like, okay, since this is where I keep large chunk of my money, I just need to understand how the market works and see how I can follow up. I invested in stocks like UPDC, Dangote. So these are the stocks I have most shares in. The rest of them, I'm not really bothered about them because they are kind of solid and they don't really go deep like that. But the stocks that I made more money in but crashed out later was Dangote Sugar. So I bought Dangote Sugar at 39 naira, but I bought just a little amount of it. So when I saw that it was moving from 39 naira to 41 to 43 to 40, at some point it like drove up. So I had to like invest heavily in that. I added almost 1 million naira in that shares. I have almost, let's say I have almost 900K in Dangote Sugar. I also bought UPDC. I bought UPDC almost 400K, and it was around, if I had known. So it is me understanding that okay, I know that there is. I only knew two things when I came into the market. I knew that there was capital appreciation as per okay, if I bought a stock for 4 naira per share and I bought X amount of shares, if the stock is now 6 naira per share, the capital appreciation have increased by 2 naira per the number of shares. And I knew that if I bought stock that was paying dividend, I would be entitled to dividend when the company declares their dividend and start paying their investors. So that was the only two things I knew. So in my head, I'm like, okay, that's a safe place to keep my money. That was what made me start investing in stock. But when I now, if I had known, I would have, because I just, it was not out of fear, but I was like, okay, I was feeling optimistic, like this thing will actually go higher. So immediately I just pumped money inside. I just noticed that the stock started crashing. Like, oh, I made say like in June to like July, I make almost 400K overall as per my overall portfolio. But I just in the space of 2 weeks, my my my, my stock just crashed. Like Dangote went from 71 to like 659 naira, and all my profit 300K. I was left to like say like profit of 80K. So in my head, I'm like, okay, help. I've been following back to back ever since ever since that stuff happened. I've been following your TikTok live back to back to say, okay, let me study how these things work because here is the thing. If I'm going to react, if this were not to be my profit, if this were to be my own capital that is crashing, will I react and sell? Of course, no. I would want to hold. But if I'm holding, am I well informed that this stock are going to pick up back and all of that? So I'm just using this medium to ask to say, okay, the likes of Dangote Sugar, the likes of UPDC, the likes of Sovereign Insurance, and the likes of GT, UBA Bank, and the likes of
Okay.
Cadbury and
Okay, hold
Honeywell.
on.
How?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
All right. You need more following of what is going on.
Yes, sir.
You need your own strategy, but you need to be um, decisive about what you want. Are you investing long term or you want to be a trader? Don't confuse both. Otherwise, you will keep making money and losing money and selling a stock you should hold and so on. There are two categories of people in the market and two categories of stocks, traders and investors, and long term, short-term trading stocks. You can actually play both, but you must know which one is for long term and which is for short term. So you have to stay patient. And when you hear a recommendation, be sure what category you are putting it in your portfolio. I will always mention long term investments. And then, for instance, you pick Dangote Sugar at 30 something. That stock rose to 75 before it dropped to 61 and 59. The stock market will keep going up and down. It's a zigzag movement on a daily, weekly basis. But if you stretch it to a monthly or quarterly or annual chart, you will see that zigzag will disappear into a straight line. In between those straight lines, you see in a long stretch of time is the daily zigzags. You actually allowed the zigzag movement affect your decision. And that's why things are happening like this. There are chances that your long-term stocks will drop at some point, but will recover incoming call gain more than dropped. So that's the way the stock market works. What I will advise is to stay on and determine which incoming call for long term and short. Are you there? Okay, we have been disrupted by his incoming call, so we will go on to Niger celebrities. Hello.
Hi, Coach. Wow, I'm happy to be on your live stream today. I've been following you for a while.
Oh,
Thanks for all
wow.
you do to this community.
Thank you, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're
Well, my name
streaming.
is Richie. I reside in UK.
Thank you so much,
So,
Richie. We're glad to have
yeah,
you.
thank you so much for all you do. Yeah, I've had some stocks in First Bank very, very long time ago. I bought it, First Bank and Transcorp. So I've lost track. I don't know how to. I'll be able to trace that. So that's why I'm actually calling in. If there's any way you can help me with that. Then
Okay,
number two, I want to start investing in Nigerian stock, so I don't know where to start from.
okay. First things first. Those stocks you bought, Transcorp and First Bank, did you buy them public offer or you bought through a stockbroker?
I bought public offer, but I think at the point I registered them under a private stockbroker.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking is because if you bought public offer, then they have to be dematerialized. No more certificates, of course, all things are now digital. Those stocks are still available in your name at the central depository of stocks called the Central Securities Clearing System. A stockbroker will need to help you dematerialize and bring it into your stock brokerage account. The stockbroker you used the other time, I don't know if they dematerialized it. If they did, no problem. The fact you remember that you eventually got them registered under a broker tells me they might have dematerialized it. So, in that case, what you would now need is perhaps open a new brokerage account. If you can't reach them and continue to use them, then tell your new broker to transfer your shares from the previous broker. They will now conduct a search on CSCS and bring your stocks back into your new account for you to be able to see, monitor, and act on them as you will. Then, of course, if you have any unclaimed dividend as well, it will be a good time to get them in your account. So that's on that. Your second question was, can you remind me?
I want to start investing in Nigerian stock. How do I start?
Excellent. Still has to do with opening a brokerage account. So what you would do, let's be practical, straightforward. Send me a DM on Instagram, not on TikTok. I'm unable to meet up DMs on TikTok, and I try my best to let people know that this is where I can easily respond to DMs.
Okay.
Requesting for a link to a stockbroker. I'll forward to you. You fill it, open a new account for yourself. Then you do these things I've said by sending them an email. That's after you must have opened your account. Is that okay?
Okay. 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 All right. So with that, are we able to invest with the new broker?
Absolutely, straight away from anywhere you are in the world.
Okay. I remember I
Not
also.
all offer that service of online real-time access across the
Okay.
world. So I will
Okay.
do what should suit you, and that's what I use basically. So
Okay.
secret
Okay.
at all. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll send you a DM then.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. For my then I also did for my kid. Now I've not even given birth to then. So how do I also get that too?
Same thing. In that
Okay.
case, is the child an adult now up to 18?
Um. oh, oh, no. 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 It's up to
Okay,
18. Yeah.
not yet up to 18.
Yeah.
Something called minor account. This same
Okay.
broker, you will just request for a minor account.
Okay. Okay. All
Then
right.
you open that account and attach it to yours. So you will be the administrator of the account because the child is not up to age yet. Then they will
Okay.
now do that search again. Then you can also buy subsequently
Okay. Okay.
for
That's
that
fine.
one.
That's fine. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay, so the following callers should please stand by. Built for you, Ngoso Oya, Frankie Ndidigwe. I am making these updates ahead of time so that you can prepare your environment. Once you call in and it's noisy, you'll be cut off. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, coach. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from, please.
Okay, my name is Just for you. I'm calling from Anambra.
Go ahead, all the way from Anambra.
Okay.
Looks like we are having connection issues. We will go straight to the next caller because of time. Sorry about that. Ngoso Oya. Good afternoon.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon.
Loud and clear. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, my name is Uju. I'm streaming from Lagos.
Thank you very much, Uju from Lagos. Go ahead.
Okay, I've been doing some inquiries and I've been able to kind of narrow down the two stocks that I'm looking to buy to use 1 million naira and buy right now. I'm looking at QTix and Aradel. So I guess I was trying to find out which do you think is the best way to go
Sadly,
at the
again,
moment.
we lose voice connection.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now.
All right, so I was saying between Aradel and Qtix, which do you think is the best buy for with 1 million naira at the moment? Then I also wanted to ask, what does it mean to take profit on your share? Because I've been thinking it meant, when you make profit, then you sell your shares. But I'm seeing an opposing view that you just sell the amount that is your profit. So I also wanted some clarification on that.
All right, thank you very much. We go on to first question. Between Aradel and Qtix, the question is, what is your investment goal for that money? Long term, short term, dividend, capital gains. Which do you want?
Short term and capital gains is my priority.
Short term capital gains, Qtix looks like it can give you that, but for how long Aradel has been, it could just surprise the market. In any case, in terms of fundamentals and long-term returns, Aradel tops Qtix anytime, any day. It's like buying a Rolls Royce versus buying a Toyota. So
All right.
now in your court. Second question, you asked, what is taking profit? Taking profit simply means selling a stock when you are in profit. Very simple. Let's not complicate. There are so many people with all kinds of opinion in the stock market these days, with social media helping all of us, right? Whether you sell part of the profit and leave some of the stocks behind or not, taking profit is simply I buy a stock 5 naira per share, it jumps to 15 naira per share, I sell and leave the market, or sell, takes the profit out and leave the capital in the market. Or I sell the capital, the value of the capital invested, leave the profit to keep running. Taking profit is selling a stock when you are in profit. You have taken profit. Simple.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next caller is Frankie Ndidigwe. After Frankie, I will call on the list of the next set of three. Please keep your environments quiet as we make progress.
Hello, coach.
Very good afternoon to you, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Yeah, my name is Frank Indidigo. I'm calling from the UK.
Thank you very much, Frankie. We're glad to have you. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here too. Uh, First of all, I would like to give kudos to you for a job well done. It's not been very long I started following you, but I think I've gained a lot by following you. Just as you normally say, if we don't follow you, we lose money. You know,
Yes.
exactly. So, yeah, I have two questions. In
Okay.
2008, I wanted to venture into the stock market. Then I was quite a novice in the whole stock market of 18. So I have this my brother-in-law who supposedly told me that he's a stockbroker.
That
So
was the
I
worst time to get into the stock market. Go ahead.
exactly,
I'm waiting to hear
exactly,
your full story.
yeah. So I gave him some money, and he bought those shares. But instead of him to put those shares in my name, he created an account, a fictitious account that has nothing to do with my name. So, but I was able to recover those accounts. Now those accounts is in the CSCS platform and stuff like that. I can actually see it. But now the problem I have with those accounts is that I don't have bank account on that name, and I don't even know if I'll be able to transfer it to my new account that I've created in my own name. So that is the first question. Then the second one is I've been following you. You made mention about NIDF. I am highly interested in NIDF. My long term plan is to have at least 1 million shares in NIDF. What do you think about that?
You see, that's the reason why we're here. As our faces are different, so are our investment goals. A dream of or a goal of 1 million NID is not unattainable. The fantastic beauty of that is a guaranteed over 5 million naira every 3 months. And anybody can easily have a fantastic retirement knowing that you don't have to lift a finger enjoying such a stock. The most beautiful part of it is when that stock continues to increase the dividend payout and therefore eventually see the price also rising. So for me, NIBX is at a very good price up till now. And for all the years that we've been listed on the stock market, I think it's an ideal goal. Please pursue it to I don't know how to do it.
Hello, coach. Sorry, I'm losing your voice. I don't know if it's from your own end or something
Oh,
like that.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. You can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
I said a goal of 1 million NIDF is a guarantee of at least 5 million naira every 3 months in quarterly dividends. And that's a fantastic cash flow that anybody can easily fund their retirement with. So the point is, NIDA is at a very good price based on what they are paying out, and the future, if they continue, means more money for you because dividend will keep growing. And when dividend keeps growing, share price will follow naturally. So, of all times, this is one of the best times to accumulate that stock. You have my absolute approval.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
In
sir.
terms of the first question, in terms of the
First
first question, is there anything I can do about
it's
that?
a very, very difficult situation now because that was a crime committed by your in law. And you see this thing they say about family. We are not judging here, but every time you keep hearing one story or the other that confirms it, whereas there are also still very good family people. Whatever motivated that movement, it was so unprofessional because now you need a human being that exists whose names and everything matches whatever document, and that's not you. Meanwhile, it's your money. So I want to know what documents did he use to acquire those stocks in that fictitious account? Because a professional stockbroking outfit will need KYC documentation before an account opens. I'm talking about whenever the account was opened. KYC didn't start from today. That means driver's license, international passport, or any valid ID card, or address verification document like utility bill involved, passport photograph of the individual involved, and all other documentation required. How did he get away with this? It implicates him, implicates the house that registered and opened that account and executed those transactions. Because now you can't claim it. First of all, you need a bank that has BVN with those names and particulars before any account or any sale can be executed, any transaction can be done. You can't
Okay,
transfer it to your own account for no reason because you will not have a reason to do that that is valid. Hold on, Atlas Portfolios is in the house. Let me call them in to add a voice to this from their own hands-on professional experience. You know, I am not a broker, I'm a wealth coach, but I've been in this for 27 years, so I have a good knowledge of the workings of the market. But that does not take the place of a current professional in the market. And hopefully we get to hear from them as well as to what best do about this and how possible it can ever be. Hello, Atlas. Very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Coach. Good afternoon, sir.
yeah, good afternoon.
First time we are not talking about somebody is having an issue, come and solve. We are talking about opening our eyes to the reality of a real life situation. Please go ahead. The floor is open. Atlas, over to you.
All right, Coach. For the client that the person you gave money to buy stock for you, and probably bought on a name that does not exist or you cannot trace. There was a particular year, I can't remember the year now. NGX gave the floor open for people in that situation to bring those documents, claim those shares in their proper name. But the channel is closed now. It was open for years. It's closed now. And for you to go through bringing those shares in your name, it's a two-way thing. It's either it is gone or you might need to reach out to NGX and SEC personally. You might need to write to them personally. They would like to see you, You might need to send them a mail and explain this current situation because the window for that through which brokers can assist has been closed. And we've been on some, and some for now they can't recover those shares. But you might need to talk to them personally first, have a dialogue with them, and let's see how they can assist. I'm sure there's still something they can do. It might just have to cost you more stress, but there's still something that can happen. So you might just have to reach them one on one. But for the broker aspect, the window for us has been closed already.
Okay, I have one question here. Does that not implicate the house and that is in-law that executed those transactions by the time you contact SEC and yes?
Sorry, coach, can you recap?
I said, question, does that not implicate the house that executed those fictitious transactions, fictitious those transactions with a fictitious account, and his in-law who really spearheaded it? Will that not implicate them before SEC and NGX?
Well, for it might not really have an impact because at then, how many stockbrokers do we have? Most stocks are housed in registrars' custody. So those kind of shares would have been moved into a non-trading account with CSCS. So it will just be housed somewhere. It might not really be connected with the broker, but if it is connected with a broker, CSCS or NGX will relate that to you. They will let you know if it is housed in a broker. Then it will be difficult if it's connected with a broker because you have to provide a name, BVN, ID card in that name. So
Yeah,
it will
sorry,
be
sorry to interrupt because I can actually see the stocks now in CSCS platform, and three brokers are involved, and the shares are worth, if I'm not mistaken, nearly 10 million naira
yes.
now. So I can actually see them. I can log in. I can see everything, but it's just I cannot really access them because there's no account to sell them to, or there's no way I can transfer it to my current name.
Okay, so if you mean you can see them via CSCS platform, do you mean your personal online access to CSCS platform?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, if that's the case, all right. Okay, you can send us a message on WhatsApp and just send me the screenshot of what
Mm,
access you have. Let's say if we can assist, if it has been housed downward that you can have access to it,
okay.
there
And
might still be
sorry
one
to
solution.
interrupt again.
All right.
Funny enough, I just opened a brokerage account with you guys now, which is Atlas. Is that Afri Invest or Atlas I'm speaking with?
Atlas.
Atlas.
Atlas. Okay, yeah, I've just opened a brokerage account with you guys, so I don't know if that will help in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, just send us a mail or you send us a WhatsApp message. You
Okay,
screenshot the access of the CSCS platform you have, how the
okay,
name appeared, the account number, the
okay,
details in full. So let's see if we can assist from there.
okay, no problem. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you,
you, coach. I
Atlas.
really appreciate it.
Thank God.
Sorry for taking a lot of your time.
No problem. We hope that this solves the matter and you are happy again. Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks very much, coach.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yes, bye.
All right. Next set of callers, Fiki, Ali Adebi James, and Ziz Daps. Please keep your environments quiet so we can have a smooth conversation. If you are not following me, you are losing money. You see that? What if tomorrow the 10 million naira is worth of shares is recovered? That's one reason why I am in your life. You must make money with us this year. Next caller, Fiki is on the line. Good afternoon, coach. Please, I need a broker link access account, sir. Madam Bunmi Durotoye. Or you can send me a DM on Instagram, please. On Instagram, Bunmi. Send me a DM requesting for a link. I'll forward to you. You open your brokerage account direct. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, coach. Good afternoon, coach.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're streaming from, please.
My name is Ifan. I'm streaming from Japan.
Ifine from Japan. Thank you very much
Yes.
for joining. Go ahead.
Yes, coach. I've been following you for like how I got to get to your page was magical. I've been listening to other stock uh, updates on YouTube, Nigerian stock, because it dawned to me that I need to start investing in my country. So I
Awesome.
was checking for Nigerian stocks to buy. So I stumbled on your page. It was a 1 hour video. I watched throughout all the 1 hour video. Then from your YouTube, I went to your Instagram and your TikTok. And it's been well educational. Your contents are pure educational. I must thank you for that. Like you don't just focus on invest. You are actually educating us. So I really appreciate that. Coach,
Awesome.
what I wanted to ask is this: like when you started this live stream earlier, you mentioned about two insurance company. Is it Mex and one other company?
Mem,
NEM and one other company that is around 21.
Mansard. Mansard is
Okay,
down from 21 to 16.
okay. I will try and I want to start accumulating that. And your live stream have turned me to a pro tip. I'm a pro tip person now. So I'm accumulating tip as much as I can. Any
Awesome.
money I get, be it 50,000 naira, 100, any amount of money I get, like I'm on a mission on accumulating as much tip as I can because I cannot imagine what tip will be in the next 3 years, 4 years. It's going to be, in fact. So you said the insurance companies,
Nem and Mansard.
Mansa. Okay, get that.
NEM
Mansa.
is Nem. Mansard. That is Mansard.
Okay, thank you, coach. Thank you so much. I appreciate.
Thank you. I confidently mentioned those two because they are amongst the top three insurance companies that will dominate the market in this new era of what you call the insurance industry reform. In the next couple of years, they will compete with some banking stocks. I can tell you that. All right. Next caller, as earlier announced, is Ali Adebi James. After him, we will have Ziz Daps. Okay.
Hello, coach.
Good afternoon, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Wonderful evening to you, coach. I'm not a first time caller anyway. My name is AJ, like I usually say. I'm calling from Russia. I think I've called
AJ from
not once, not twice. Yes,
All
please.
right. It's
Yeah,
good to
so
have
a
you.
quick one, so I don't have to take much time so that I can allow other callers come in. I have just two questions. The first one is, please, first of all, let me appreciate you for all that you've done. Sorry, you've really made the likes of us. You've enlightened our eyes to what it is to make good money in stocks. Over time, I have
Legitimate money.
accumulated. Sorry.
Legitimate money, sir.
Yes,
Good money.
legitimate, yes, good, legitimate money. I was one that sent a message as regards Neo that I got Neo at $4 if I should get more or let it go. And then I understand anyway, you've answered that. But a quick one, you were talking about, there was a time you mentioned a particular stock. I don't know if this is NACO, the NACO, or it is different from the NANCO. That's the NAH. Because you said it was at $2. I said $2, sorry, 2 naira, and then I think they paid dividend of 5 naira or something, and that you projected like in next couple of months. I don't know which of them is it. What's the ticker symbol, please? Which of which?
NAHCO. NACO.
Yeah, but it's 1 or something. It's not two. When you made mention of 2 naira, I was wondering if it was another stock you were talking about.
All right. You actually perhaps missed it. Maybe network didn't transmit the full audio I was while I was talking. I said NACO was 2 naira per share 5 years ago. Now it's 103 naira per share. By the way, if you bought it at 2 naira, the last dividend they paid was 5 naira 90 kobo or 5.94. So meaning something you bought 2 naira, you are now receiving more than 5 naira, almost 6 naira. That's almost 3 times the capital you spent. And that's on a yearly basis as dividend, which is almost 300% dividend yield. I was trying to re-emphasize the need for patience in the market when you invest, because nobody saw NACO 5 years after paying 5 naira 94 kobo per share. Nobody saw that coming. But that's what patience does for you. That was what I was trying to explain. Is that clear now?
Yeah, now I get it, and thanks for explaining and putting more light to it. Now the
All right.
last one is it has to do with something similar to the other caller before the previous one that said somebody bought shares for him. I think his in-law or something, but my case is different anyway. I just got to
Mhm.
find out, not recently that there was a site, a SEC, a portal or something where you can put in unclaimed e-dividends. So I just thought about putting in, because knowing fully well that back in the days, I'm talking of in the 90s, early 90s or thereabouts, my father actually usually talks about stock and buying stocks and buying shares in some couple of companies. So I just decided to just put his name in. He's late now anyway, and he came up with NASCON. And then the custodian or the registrar was a Meristem registrars, which I've sent them mail countlessly. I don't know. I've not been able to get it. So I don't know how how can I get to move to acquire it, or I don't know what's literal stock words to use, but how to just get it. How do I go about it, please?
Okay, basic procedure is to get letter of administration. If you are the
A lawyer,
next,
yes, okay.
if you are the next in line to take authority over his estate, but if your mom is alive, even if he didn't leave a will behind, she's
Mhm.
in the best position to pursue that. So you could actually do this for her. Get a lawyer to prepare to obtain a letter of administration for your
Okay.
dad's estate, and then with these documents, someone has to appear at Meristem, because it's difficult handling it from a distance. And now that you are in Russia, that will be hard unless somebody's back home available to make the movement.
Someone, a part of the family, or just anybody to just represent, or what do you mean by someone? If it's about getting anybody, you can always get anybody, but someone who bears the name, or what do you mean by someone, sir?
Not necessarily. I was referring to your mom being alive and being the next in line if there is no will specifically naming anyone.
Okay, okay,
So
okay,
if
okay,
your mom is alive, then someone can go with her to pursue this
okay.
thing. So if you have a lawyer who can just get this done, then that person is enough to go with her to show certain proofs and every other thing. So she takes
Where do we, what, sorry, I have to cut just because I just wanted to keep up with the whole thing. Where do they have to go, please? Where?
court.
Court.
Yes.
Okay, and then send the message back to, is it NASCON?
Any lawyer you
Uh-huh.
tell these details of getting a
Okay,
letter of administration, they know what to do, right?
okay.
Then those documents, she will have to go with whoever is available with her to Meristem registrars.
That's
They
what
should
I wanted to
locate
get.
the office and then present all those things. They should be able to process.
All right then. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so very much for all you do, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Next caller. Ziz Dabs, you are next. Okay. Kaka says Meristem office is in
Hello,
Ikoyi.
sir. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Dapo
Very
calling from Northern Ireland.
Dapo from where?
Northern Ireland, Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Dapo. We are glad
yeah.
to have you. Please go ahead.
Coach, I want to thank you very much for what you have been doing. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Sir, I want to ask you some question, please. I have like four banks out of the Fugas, but I'm planning to sell like Fidelity to add to sell out Fidelity to add more to the others. Is that good? Does it make sense? It's just your opinion on that, I know.
As much as you have the big banks, it's good to have one upcoming bank, and Fidelity is in a very good position to be that
Sorry,
upcoming.
sir. I have Jai's Bank. That is why I'm selling Fidelity. That's why. Sorry about that.
Well, I don't think selling Jai's Bank, selling Fidelity and holding Jai's Bank really is okay by me. But why are you in a hurry to sell? Why not keep the Fidelity and build up on any other one you want to add to with fresh funds as they come? A lot of times, it's not very okay to just keep selling what you have because Fidelity now has been the most neglected in the banking sector, and its time will soon come. When its time comes, you may just be somewhere regretting why you sold, having waited and waited. I'm sure you are motivated to sell because it hasn't really moved. Why do you want to sell Fidelity?
No, there's no problem. I have like three of the Fugas. I have First Bank, Access Bank, and I have I have Zenith. That is the reason I'm selling Fidelity off.
Okay, in the final analysis, you are the CEO of your portfolio. I think you feel like you don't need that Fidelity since you have three Fugases and maybe one Jais, which you have patience for. So over to you, sir.
Thank you. Can I ask another one more question, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, can I sell off UCAP and AfriPool to buy VFD? Just I want to ask you for your opinion. That's what I'm asking.
No, you need more patience for VFD to grow. Allow your UCAP and African potential. You can
Actually,
actually, you can
I'm
actually, you can actually buy as many VFD as you can because it will give you the time to do so before it eventually rises. So no need sacrificing those other two.
okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Remember, you need consistent dividend income, and those two pays you twice a year. So don't lose them.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you,
Right.
coach. God bless you.
You know what? He's moved to sell some of his stocks that have really not moved. And those are the sets of stocks that will eventually start moving. So this is a case of almost jumping out of a ship that may just begin to sail. Yeah? All right. On to the callers again. It's surprising to see how fast time flies. Now, 12 minutes to go. And we still have 12 callers. So each one of you, 1 minute. J. Ace, Okonkwo, and Ada Daniel. You are the next three. Make it 1 minute each. Let's see how we can accommodate all 12.
Hello, sir. This is J Ace. Can you hear me
Good afternoon.
clearly?
Tell us where
Good
you are
day.
streaming
My name
from.
is
You
Jace.
are streaming
I'm
from.
streaming from China, Shanghai, China. I
Thank
was
you.
like chatting with Malby about my daughter. I want to get her a minor account, but she doesn't have a Nigerian passport, no name, nothing. So he wanted me to speak with Atlas. That's my question.
Hello, Atlas. Please, could you quickly give us a response to that? Minor account, no NIN, no Nigerian passport. I am thinking it's still possible because it's a minor account. Atlas, please help us. Let's see how quickly we can get a response.
Hello?
Hello, Atlas, are you there? Hello, Atlas. Okay, perhaps it's not by the phone. And truthfully, I do not think a
Let me
million.
trade. Check my go out work.
Sorry,
Atlas,
coach, can you recap the question, please? I stepped out.
can you make it quick?
Yeah, I want to open a minor account for my teenage daughter. She's never been to Nigeria and she doesn't have a Nigerian passport. How do I go about it? Thank you.
Okay, but does she has a BVN bank account number? Nigeria.
Nothing. Nothing. She's not been to Nigeria, so nothing.
All right, she has to get the BVN. Okay, you can send us a mail. I will send you the diaspora link to get a BVN for her and all other details required. So you can kickstart from there when you have all of those things settled.
Okay. She's actually my next of kin on my Atlas account.
Okay, do you want us to pick
What?
our information there? Or we send
Yes.
you.
Oh,
All right,
send me. Yeah, you
I'll
can
still
send it
need
to
you to
me.
send me a mail. I'll still need you to send me a mail so I can just respond to you proper.
All right. What about if I contact you on WhatsApp? Or
Yes, you
mail
can
is
do
better.
that. Anyone,
Okay.
sir.
I'll do both. Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
All
Thank you,
right.
Coach. I'm
Thank
out.
you. Bye. Okonkwo next. After Okonkwo, please, I'm announcing your names ahead of time so you can keep your environment quiet. Ada Daniel is next. Hello,
Hello, coach.
Mrs. Okonkwo. Good afternoon.
Hello, coach. Good afternoon. Okonkwo,
You're wel-
streaming from Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Madam Okonkwo.
If you are
Go
not
ahead.
following coach, you are losing money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Coach, a quick one on Sterling. Is it a good buy at the moment? And then for Wema, is it the best time to sell?
Well, Wema actually shot very high. Maybe, just maybe, there could be a chance that you sell now and then buy into a pullback, or if you plan to sell off and move on, that's okay.
I'm looking at selling part of it because I actually
Oh,
bought I think I bought at 8 naira and 15 naira. So I'm just
oh
looking at
wow.
taking
You,
some
you
part of
have
it.
you have a fantastic entry. You can go ahead, please.
Okay.
Then the other one you mentioned was what?
Selling back.
Sterling.
Yes.
I'm trying to check now to see what it is. Anything around 7 is fine. Sterling is at 7.5 now. Not too bad. Whether there's going to be a pullback or not, we don't know. It's likely, especially towards November, but not too bad at the moment. As long as you're not buying above 7, I mean, up to 8.
Yeah, I was just concerned if they will also push up like other banks, or they will remain the way they
Well,
were last.
they have actually pushed up. They pushed up from between 5 and 6, 8 before pulling back down to where they are right
Mm-hmm.
now. So maybe you want to do a waiting game and see how low it drops, close to 7, before making your move.
Okay. All right,
Thank you
coach.
very
Thank
much.
you much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Ada Daniel. We have 6 minutes to go, and callers are still much 10. Let's make it quick. Is Ada Daniel available? Trying to connect. Let's see how quickly that connection happens. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, coach. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, go ahead and tell us where you're streaming from.
This is Ada Daniel calling from Lagos, sir.
Thank you very much, Ada Daniel from Lagos. Please go ahead. You
Yes,
sound
sir.
good.
Anybody that is not following Coach Omiete is losing money.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
absolutely. It's
yes,
no longer coming
yes,
from.
sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, sir, please, I want to confirm that how can we recover a loved one that has gone to be with the Lord, like the the shares that she has already gotten before she passed away? How can we recover it for the children? I don't know. I have
Okay.
checked her name using sex site, and I can see that she has some shares there, but I
Okay.
don't know how to go about it. Yes, sir.
That's going to be a bit difficult. Where is the husband?
Is there?
Okay. He's in a position to
Yes, sir.
pursue. He's in a position to pursue it. Like I stated
Okay.
earlier, she is most likely without a will before she passed. So he is her lawfully um, qualified next of kin to pursue her estate. So he needs to get letter of administration and then proceed to getting uh, an account if she didn't buy those stocks through a broker, even if it's public offer. I think he needs to open a brand new account and then
Okay, sir.
tender those documents, including a death certificate. Then
Okay.
the brokers can package and process for a transfer to him. I would like
Thank you, sir.
Atlas to come in again regarding unclaimed dividends on that portal because I hear unclaimed dividend has been moved. SEC gave instruction that registrars should move the money into um, a custodian account. Atlas Portfolios, can you educate us on the exact situation with that particular instruction from SEC regarding unclaimed dividends amounts being moved? Okay, they are not here yet, but I hope that you can pass that information to him yet. And if you have opened your account, do you
Okay,
have an
sir.
account with Atlas yourself at that Daniel?
No, yeah, I got like I told you that time, I got bamboo long time ago. That one has been with
No
me. So
problem.
when I got to meet with you, so I started using it.
No problem. What happens is you will send me a DM to send you a link for him to start the process of opening his account while also pursuing the um, letter of administration. He needs that seriously.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sir.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much, sir.
Yeah.
God bless you, sir.
God bless you too. Okay, so let's run. We have just 2 minutes. You see, time is not a very good friend. Content creator, you are next. After you, no matter how far we go into 2 p.m., we will speak with Ronke Stephen next. Hello, tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Let's see if we do it very fast.
Hello? Hello.
Are we on to content? Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Please
Good
tell us
af-
your name and where you're streaming
Okay, my
from.
name is Ronke. I'm calling from Lagos. I
Thank
actually
you very
wanted
much, Ronke.
to speak with Atlas. I
Okay.
requested for an account to be opened, and I supplied my CHN number for all my stocks to be in a single file. But upon opening the account, they used another CHN number. So I was trying to get them sent mails that if it's possible for them to merge uh, my to use a single CHN number for me, so that it will be easy for me to view all my portfolio at a glance and see it better.
Okay, let's hold on for Atlas to respond.
Can you just send us a reminder via WhatsApp or email now?
I did with email, but I don't have your WhatsApp number.
All right, I'll just drop it in the comment section now, please.
Thank you. I will appreciate. Thank you.
Okay, Romke, for your sake, I will take one more call so you can be able to pick the number on the comment section before we come to the end of this session. Is that fine? All right, so one more call, and that goes to Louis Smith. You have been standing by. It's already 2 p.m. Nigerian time. The session is coming to an end, but we need one more call. Hello, good afternoon.
So
Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, my name is Louis. I'm streaming from Italy, Milano, Italy.
Louis, thank you very much for joining. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, sir. Set ahead, sir. I'm just a new in this platform, but I have enthusiasm me to invest in Nigeria to buy shares, but I don't know how to go about it. The first step to take, sir.
Okay, begin by opening your stock brokerage account, stay connected, get knowledge on all our platforms. What you will do is, because of time, send me a DM on Instagram that you want to start investing. You need to open your account. I will send you a beginner guide video. You need to understand how the market operates. Second, I'll send you a link to open your brokerage account. Also send requesting for to join Network Investors Club. We are on Discord. The Discord link I will send to you also, so that outside the 2 hours daily session, you can always see discussions going on in the group and also ask questions freely. You get enough information, it builds your knowledge base up, and you make the best decisions in the stock market. Is that okay, sir?
Yes. Another question, sir. To open a brokerage account, do I need to have a bank account in Nigeria?
Yes, bank account, BVM, compulsory.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
The
sir.
same applies to every other person who is trying to reach me. Send me a DM on Instagram, and then, of course, all the videos daily is uploaded on the live my YouTube channel. And I urge everybody, if you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you should subscribe to my free YouTube channel. Just go ahead there. It's free, so you get as many videos as possible. Today's live stream will also be uploaded because of members of this community who are in Canada and the US because of time difference. And then those Nigerians at work and can't listen up during this time can have the time to download or play them after the live stream. Thank you so very much, everybody. I see all your wonderful words of commendation and encouragement on the comment section. I really, really appreciate you all. It wouldn't have been possible without you. And this is to say a big thank you to Atlas Portfolios and, of course, Maobi, who has been ever present. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for the likes and the shares. Your liking and sharing every time we are live helps many other newbies. That's why you keep hearing, how do I start? I'm here for the first time. It's because you did it. Thank you so very much. Remember, tomorrow again, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time, we'll be here hunting for opportunities. And hopefully, we find more deals for you while we stay invested and keep growing our net worth. I'll see you again, same time tomorrow. Don't forget, go on, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and always share those YouTube videos. That's the way you help more people to get to know this, to grow their net worth. Millionaires are rising from here, billionaires are rising from here. Thank you very much. Bye for now.